falling off your boards at high speeds, or want a super stable ride, then keep watching, because I'm going to show you the exact setup for each scenario that you might want to have. So, hey guys, how's it going? Welcome to another video. And yeah, I've got some things in my hands. I've got a semi-short board here, and I have a wedge. And that's what this video is going to be about. It's going to be about skateboards and wedges. I'm going to tell you exactly what these things are for, because I actually couldn't find many videos that were telling me what this was for. Obviously, I know it's for a skateboard or a longboard or whatever you want to put this on. I'm going to be showing you guys exactly what this is used for, when to use it, and how to use it. Exactly what is its purpose? Why is it angled? Why do we have an angle on it? Why is it, well, usually they're flat, right? You know what I mean? But they actually affect the turning radius of your skateboard, right? And I'm going to show you a little diagram that I've made here explaining exactly what it does. Let's put this, trying to track my face. Come on, there we go. All right, so we've got the first setup here, which is, this is the tail, this side is the tail, and I'm going to go over a quick little brief of exactly what particular setup does what. And I'm going to show you just a quick little section of my board here, just to show you what I'm talking about. All right, so this is the board right now. And when you have these angled riser pads on, which at the moment I have flat ones, which is completely okay, they work great, standard, you know what I mean? They are giving you the turning radius of what the manufacturer intended you to have on your trucks, which is just the right amount, so that when you turn, it's not too sharp and it's not too shallow, which is the normal longboard truck or skateboard truck feel that we all know and love and have ridden for years. But for those people who want to either risk stability and falling off your boards at high speeds, or want a super stable ride, then keep watching, because I'm going to show you the exact setup for each scenario that you might want to have. So let's get into it. So yeah, going back to the diagrams that I just showed you, they will have different arrangements. Some will have a flat rear with a wedged front. Some will have it the other way around. Some will have double wedges. And I'm going to explain to you exactly what it is. So we'll go over the first one. The first one here is what is referred to as the front wedge. So the front wedge is pretty much a flat wedge, wedge at the back. So no wedge actually, just a flat standard, riser pad. And then at the front, you have it angled. So the taller bit is at the back, facing the back trucks, and it's angling towards the front. And what this does, it increases your carving ability slightly. Let me just set this up to show you what it looked like. So yeah, what this does, this actually sets up your carving ability so that you have slightly increased carve, but without any increase on stability. So when you ride this, this will essentially feel like, oh, I've got a little bit more carve, the turning is slightly sharper, slightly more responsive, but it isn't like anything crazy. It's a subtle type of change more than a drastic one, but you will notice it, and you will get sharper turning and a little bit more carve. So when you're turning back and forth, you know, whatever they were before, you'll find that you'll get a bit more lean for your turn pretty much. So, you know, without completely sacrificing stability, you still have stability, whatnot, but you're just getting a little bit more carve. Okay, so that's the first scenario, which is quite cool, because I didn't know that you can actually set these up to have wedge with just a flat back. You know, there's probably people watching this who know that they've been around for years or something, but I've known that they've existed, but I've never actually seen any videos or looked into exactly what they do or why. So here we are. Okay, the second one, which is actually a pretty wild setup, is the Wedge-de-wedge, right? So that's what it's called. So more carve, but this is the cool bit. So you get more carve. Let me put this on here just to show you what that would look like. All right, so this is what it looked like. As you can see, the front has got the wedge but there, and it's shallow at the front and it goes big, and then it's the same here, so it's kind of like a repeat. So this is classed as the wedge-de-wedge. So what this gives you is essentially more carve and stability. So let me just see, more carve, speed, stability. Yeah, so what this setup will give you is more turning radius at the front. We've got something actually acting against it slightly. So basically what this means is you're kind of like neutraling it out in a way, because what this setup actually does, which is really weird, is it will allow you to have more carve, but it will also give you more stability at high speeds, because this back one now is almost being an antagonist to the front, which sounds counterintuitive, but it's not. So what this allows you to do is you're having more carving ability from the front, so that's turning sharp for you when you need it, but the back end is actually going to have slightly less or a harder push for that turning radius. So when you're cruising around regularly, you should still have a good amount of turn, maybe even slightly more than the average setup or the same. But what this is doing is that it's allowing you, so when you're going at high speeds, you will actually have more stability. So that means less speed wobbles essentially, but also maintaining quite a lot of your carve. So that's really interesting, and I think that would be a good setup for, I think, probably downhill riders and stuff like that, or you know. But make sure before you do any of this to test out and see how these riding things feel on gradual slopes, so you can get a feel to what they're like, you know, before you go bombing down hills. You know, this is just an insightful video of me telling you what I have read from the internet, so you know, it's stuff I've learned myself. But anyway, this is what I know and this is what I've learned. Okay, so if we go on to the last mode, which I mean technically isn't the last mode, because you could mix these up in any array that you wanted to, but this video is just so you can get a feel for So I don't know why this is not focusing. All right, okay, so what we've got here is the double wedge. So the double wedge. So what we've got here is super carve mode unlocked. So when you put these like inwards like that, this is going to make it so you have immense turning now. So the radius of the trucks have now been increased internally on both sides, parallel to each other. And what that means is now that you have ultimate turning ability. So the turning ability of the trucks on both sides is increased towards the same way as its natural turning ability. So what that means is easier turning, sharper carves, and complete less stability at high speeds, and increased speed wobble probability, chance of death. So, you know, you have to take that at your own risk and just use these methods and setups wisely. You know, that's all I can say. But yeah, so this is essentially what I know about the wedges and how they work and how they can change your setup. So I guess it's up to you now which ones you want to pick. So leave in the comments what your favorite setup is. Which way do you ride your board? And if you have any other ideas that are cool, leave them in the comments so other people can read them too. Because I know there's a whole plethora of other ways that these could be arranged, especially if you use flat ones. Yeah, I don't know, you'll have to tell me, guys. But yeah, anyway, that's the video. Make sure to subscribe, make sure to like, and I hope you guys have a really good day. And yeah, keep skateboarding, guys. And you're never too old.